What up, everybody? Just typing the topic today. Okay, and April, my April, I miss you. I miss you. Okay, this is today's topic. I don't know if Instagram will let me go over an hour. How many times have you written off guys only to find yourself in the same type of dysfunctional relationship? Oh, we're going in today. We're going in today. Oh, my headphones. I'm live on Facebook and Instagram. If you are watching on Instagram, you're not going to be able to see the slides. So there's that. Just so you know, you won't be able to see the slides. Okay, actually, trying to. Getting set up here on Facebook. Yay. There we go. Yes. Oh, thank you, April. I did my makeup all by myself. I feel like a girl. Like, I made it. Mama, I made it. All right. Here we are live on Facebook. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. Masterclass day. As promised, for everybody that signed up for the masterclass, I see that you got the email and the reminder, and we're just gonna okay, let people trickle in here, trickle in, trickle in, trickle in, trickle in, trickle in. I know. Look, I did my makeup. I did. I'm so proud of myself. Okay, let me log into Facebook real quick. Okay. I wish somebody would make a StreamYard for Instagram. I wish that because on StreamYard I can go live on Facebook, YouTube, my other Facebook page, and more. But I can't do it on Instagram, so you're not going to be able to see the slides, but that's okay because you will see me talking. Okay. Okay, if you can hear me, will you please type I can hear you or I'm watching in the chat. I just want to make sure that you can hear me. Type it here on Facebook. Instagram, I already know you can hear me. Facebook, will you type I'm watching or I can hear you, or let me know where you're watching from in the comment section. Could you do that for me? And oh, April, if you want to watch the slides, so if you want to watch the slides, if you're watching on Instagram and you want to see the slides, you're going to have to go to my Just Me Rika Inspires page on Facebook. Okay. Or you can just watch on Instagram. I don't mind. Yay. I want to hear. What's up, Crystal from Mississippi? MISSISSIPPY or IPPI. I remember learning how to spell that Mississippi in school. So love it, love it. Okay, as people are trickling in, I'm going to take a sip here and we are going to go ahead and get started. Because I said 5 o'clock. Yep, I said 5 o'clock. So we'll start in one more minute. This is my key strategies to dodging a dysfunctional relationship masterclass. And we are going to cover how to know if a guy is lying to you, why we fall for the lies, and more. It's going to be a lot. So this is actually going to be about an hour on Instagram. I don't even know if they let me go for an hour. But on Facebook, actually, it's going to be like 90 minutes. Okay. So we are going to talk about that. All right. So let's go to the next slide. Okay. So in this masterclass, we are going to go over my 3 tips to help you spot a liar, 3 reasons why you fall for the liars, and my 4 pillars that will keep you out of a dysfunctional relationship. And plus, we're going to cover Single You Academy, okay, which is my online coaching program for single women who want to stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships, okay? All right. Plus, you'll hear real life examples of women who have discovered their worth, thanks to my 4 pillars, just like you see here on the screen. One of my clients said, Rika, I'm learning that many things that were said to me and what I believed about myself aren't true. I'm working through a lot of shame. And in these last couple of weeks working with you, I feel like I've grown so much in my personal growth. My friends offer moral support, which is excellent, but they don't have the experience you do to tell me what I need to do. They don't give me steps, and you do, Rika. That is a graduate of Single You Academy. Okay. All right. 3 tips to get the most out of this masterclass. I want you to turn off your cell phone, or at least turn it over, put it on silent and turn it over. That way you're not getting all the dings, the rings, the whatever. Because I want you to pay attention. You signed up for this masterclass for a reason, and I want you to get something from it. And in order to get something from it, you got to pay attention. Okay. All right. And plus, close all other tabs on your laptop and computer. Grab a notebook and let's interact. I don't want to feel like I'm talking to myself. So I'm going to be asking you a lot of questions, going to be asking you to post stuff in the comments. So, all right. So I have a question for those watching right now. Would you say there is a lot of confusion in your life when it comes to relationships? That's A. B, dating. C, your single life. Or D, all of the above? Do you feel like you have a lot of confusion when it comes to A, relationships, B, dating, C, your single life, or D, all of the above? Go ahead and drop A, B, C, or D in the comments, because I would love to know where you're at right now in your life. Do you feel like there's a lot of confusion in any of these areas? Crystal, yeah, dating. Yeah, well, you're in the right place, girl. You're in the right place. Okay. All right. So we will move on. If you're watching this in the replay, feel free to comment because I can still get the notifications. Okay. All right. Okay. So, how many times have you written off guys only to find yourself in the same type of dysfunctional relationship? Raise your hand. Oh, I see you on Instagram. D, all of the above. Yes. Miss Veggie Queen. Does that mean you like veggies? Like a lot of veggies? I love it. How many times have you written off guys only to find yourself in the same type of dysfunctional relationship? Raise your hand. Say, that's me. Say, oh my God, OMG. This was me 2017 and before. And we're going to get into who I am and all that here in a second. I just want to let you know you're in the right place. So, how many times have you written off guys only to find yourself in the same type of dysfunctional relationship? Okay. Next slide. So I believe I know why this is happening to you. But first, like I said, I wanted to introduce myself to you a little bit. Okay. This is going to be the Cliff Notes, but I have been a radio personality for over 20 years, which is weird because I'm 25. Um, I started at Howard University and I was living my best career life, like in radio, doing the dang thing. I definitely was like, oh my gosh, I'm a strong, independent woman. I got this. I'm living my life, having a good time. And it was fun, definitely, definitely fun. But I was in the situation that I asked you about before, being the woman who's like, oh, I'll never date a guy like that, only to find myself in a dysfunctional relationship. And so my relationship from 2015 to 2017 was an emotionally abusive relationship. There's a lot of confusion going on when I was in that relationship for me. I definitely was trying to prove my worth to this man. I definitely was tap dancing. I definitely was trying to serve my way into his heart. I definitely was trying to make it work because I saw potential. And at that time, I believe I was 32. Sometimes the math, I can't do it because I'm getting older now. But at that time, I was 32 and I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot be single anymore without kids. And I'm in my 30s because that's the worst thing to be on this planet is single and no kids. Ah. So I thought I had missed the boat. I thought I had missed the goal. And so that was going to be my next step. Like, I just have to get married. I have to do this. Right. And unfortunately, like I said, that put me into an abusive relationship for 2 years. But I got out of that relationship in 2017 and I went on a full on journey of discovering who I was, wanting to hear my own voice and buckling down on Rika. And so one of the things that I did was I went to Mexico all by myself for 10 days, Christmas of 2017. How many of you have seen the movie Eat, Pray, Love? Okay. So that's where I got the idea from. That's like my favorite movie. If you've never seen it, it's on Netflix. Julia Roberts plays the real woman who actually went on this trip. She had a year. I ain't got that much money yet. I will one day. But I was like, I'm about to go on my own Eat, Pray, Love trip. But I'm going to Mexico, and I went for 10 days. And there was 3 questions that I asked myself. Who am I? How do I want to show up in this world from now on? And who does God say I am? And I went on that journey to discover that. And with that, I started sharing that journey because after I healed myself, I was like, okay, I know there are other women going through this. So how can I help? How can I teach women exactly what I just taught myself? Stopping the cycle of dysfunctional relationships by leaning into boundaries and discovering who I am. Okay. So I started to share my trials and tribulations, and I saw that it was working and helping women. So I got certified as an NLP life coach, aka the Single Girls Life Coach. So I'm the founder of Single You Academy and the host of Single You, the podcast. And I help women discover their worth so that they can stop tying their worth and identity to men and stop being a man pleaser. I want to help you stop that cycle of dysfunctional relationships. Okay. All right. So now, told you I was going to tell you the cliff notes about me. Now let's get back to you. Okay. Question. Who had a conversation with you about what makes a healthy relationship versus an unhealthy relationship? Who had that conversation with you? Anybody? You can either type my mom, my dad, or nobody. Can you type that in the comments? Because who had a conversation with you? Who sat you down and was like, all right, so this is healthy, but when he asked you to do this, this is unhealthy. This is called narcissism. This is projection. Who had that conversation with you? Nobody. Yeah. So, by the way, on Facebook, I see that you just typed nobody and your name says Facebook user. Can you do me a favor? Can you go to, you see where the video is? Go to the top where the description is, and you're going to see it says StreamYard needs to ask for your permission to see your name if you want Rika to see your name. So if you want me to see your name, all you have to do is click that link so I can actually see your name, because all I see right now is Facebook user. So if you want me to see your name, you have to do that. Otherwise, I'll have to call you Facebook user through on out. So Tylisha, yeah, nobody, yeah, you had to learn the hard way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The hard way on what is unhealthy, right? Do you know the difference, Tylisha? Do you know the difference between healthy hard versus dysfunctional? Because relationships are not all rainbows and unicorns, but there is a difference between healthy hard and dysfunction and abusive and toxic. So, do you know the difference? Okay, so I want to go back. All right, so this is what I want you to imagine, because I know this is what you want. You want a healthy relationship, right? You want to be loved correctly by a man. You want him to do right by you. You don't want him to cheat on you every 5 minutes. And so I want you to imagine your partner being a safe space for you. So this is actually my real friend Day and her husband. And I asked her, like, what is marriage like for you? What do you want single women who are struggling in their singleness to know? And what they should wait for. And she said, imagine your partner being your safe space. How many of you have felt unsafe with the men you dated? Or just uncomfortable or weird, that he wasn't the right fit for you, a lot of confusion going on? How many of you can say that? Because I want you to imagine that, okay? All right. And I also want you to imagine, this is like my pillar for single women. It is, of course, Tracy Ellis Ross. And she says, I'm happily single, though that doesn't mean I'm not open to and don't want a relationship. But in my wonderful and robust experience of being single, I have learned to have a productive relationship with loneliness and an intensely juicy relationship with my joyful solitude. This is where I am. I really enjoy my company. This is where I want you to imagine this for you, that you can actually be truly happy single, because that's the seat that I want you to date from, when you are truly happy single, instead of thinking singleness is just a season I have to endure and I have to hurry up and get to this man, because that's what society says the goal in life is. How many of you want to be truly happy single? Type me in the comments. Me. This is where I want you at, okay? All right, so how do you get there? So let's talk about what makes a healthy relationship versus an unhealthy relationship, okay? Let's talk about it. And we're going to start with this knowledge, okay? As promised, I told you I was going to tell you three things on how to know, three ways, sorry, on how to know if he's lying to you sooner rather than later, because I know you want to know, is this guy wasting my time or is this guy for me? So here's one of the things that you can do. I'm going to give you three tips and we're going to go 3, 2, 1. Okay. So how to know if he's lying to you. Number 3, hesitation is a language. Hesitation is a language. So what do I mean by that? How many times have you asked a man a question? Who is that? Where are you going? Whatever it is. And he hesitates or gets upset with you. Yeah, no, that's my sister. So I made a note on here that says the $10,000 boyfriend. So I'm going to tell you this story, just the cliff notes here real quick about my $10,000 boyfriend. So my ex from college, Howard University, came back into my life about 3 years ago now. Ooh, I'm getting so far removed. I'm so excited. Yay, I'm so excited. Okay. About 3 years ago, came back into my life and fed me the story of you were always the one. And I'm mad, I let you go in college and this and that and the third. Long story short, I'm here living in Washington State. So basically Seattle, for those that don't know, I'll just say Seattle. And he lived in DC. And he actually said, you know what, I'm going to move closer to you so we can like work this out and make this work and what have you. And he actually did get a job in Seattle at one of the biggest companies in Seattle. And I got excited because I'm like, oh my gosh, a guy is really moving for me. Yay. Da, da, da. Here's where I messed up, because the whole time we were talking again, I was asking him about his finances. Because at this time, I had my finances in order. And I was like, this was right after my abusive relationship. So I'm like, I'm not, again, remember how I asked you earlier, how many times have you written off guys only to find yourself right back in a dysfunctional relationship? So that's where I was. And I wasn't paying attention to the red flags of me asking him your credit score, your finances, and his hesitation. These are things that he would say. I'm just really like embarrassed about like my finances. You got it together or whatever. I'm gonna tell you. I'll tell you tomorrow. I'll tell you tomorrow. Da, da, da. He kept pushing it off, pushing it off, pushing it off. And then I didn't know it was a red flag because I actually felt bad for him. I was like, well, everybody doesn't have their money together, so I feel bad for him. So when he was moving from DC to Seattle, a few weeks before he moved, of course, he was like, well, I actually don't have any money to move. And in that moment, because I was excited, I got picked. I thought that I was finally going to get married. The dude was moving for me, that I had the obligation to help him move. So what did I do? I gave him my credit card. And when I tell you that baby racked that credit card up $10,000, at that time in my life, I had never seen that kind of debt before. And he racked it up $10,000. And I did not pay attention to his hesitation, him not wanting to answer my question. So what did I learn? Hesitation is a language, and you are allowed to get the answer to the questions that you want. Moral of the story, it took him a year to pay me back, because I was like, I will call your mother if you do not pay me back this money. And he did. And he doesn't get a pat on the back for that, because you don't get cookies from me for doing right. How dare you? No mother wants to hear that her son took $10,000 from a woman. So that's why he paid me back. So that's what I learned. Hesitation is a language. So when you're asking questions and they're hesitant, it's because they're hiding something. They're lying. And mind you, we broke up because he told me I had it two together. And you know what? He was right. And I had already did a lot of healing, although I wasn't done at that moment, but a lot of healing from my abusive ex, that the moment he broke up with me, I knew it was coming and I let him go. So when he said, you have it two together, he was right here in this house. And when he said that to me, I said, cool, when you leaving? Because I don't have time. I'm not playing this game no more. So again, that's number 3. Number 2 is his character. Okay. The Bible says you will know my people by their fruits, right? So you need to be paying attention to the character of the men that you are dating. Again, if they're hesitating, if they're dodging, that's not a man of good character. And I'm not saying that he's a bad person. He's God's child, but God don't want me suffering for one of his sons. And so his character, when he's speaking in absolutes. So what do I mean by that? When men say, girl, you know, I never hurt you. Girl, you know, I love you. You know what I used to think? I used to think when a man said he loved me, he meant it. I was like, nobody says that. They mean it when they say that. So of course he loves me. At that time, not even knowing what love actually is, biblical love. So when he's speaking in these absolutes, girl, you know, I never hurt you. Girl, you know, I love you. He can't say that. Your mama hurt your feelings yesterday. People who actually have your best interests at heart are going to hurt your feelings. So he cannot say that I will never hurt you. That's a guy who's lying, dodging, somebody who doesn't know himself. People who know themselves don't say things like that. Also, one of the things that I pay attention to is if he's quick to anger. My abusive ex, a leaf will fall off the tree and he'd be like, oh my God, my life sucks. Da, 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 da. Like he was a very negative, angry man. Angry man. And you know what TD Jakes says? TD Jakes says it's one of my favorite quotes. He never met a man that liked himself that beat his wife. So what does he mean by that? If a man doesn't like himself, of course he's going to abuse you. It's a lot of projection going on. Of course, he don't even like himself. How he going to love you, sis? Okay, so that's tip number 2. Tip number 1 on how to know how to spot a liar sooner rather than later. Actually, before we get to tip number 1, I want you to meet a client of mine. This was her then when she came to me. Because remember, I told you I was going to tell you about Single You Academy, which is my online coaching program for women who want to stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships by learning how to set hard and clear boundaries. That's Single You Academy. Meet Carla. She said, Rika, this was one of a conversation, one of many that I had with her. And this was one before she signed up for Single You Academy. This is where she was. I date the same type of men because like you said, it's like I'm happy that they chose me. So it's like, oh, you chose me. Okay. So I'm going to sacrifice what I know I don't want just because you chose me. My last boyfriend, we were together for 7 years. We did well together for a while, or so I thought, but he never wanted the commitment and I never saw it. He kept stringing me along. I feel like I do all of the things. I'm this good woman, so why not me? Can you resonate with this? How many times have you felt strung along by dudes because you're here like, oh, well, he chose me, and you get excited? Type me in the comments if that's you. When a man picks you, you get excited and you're finally like, oh my God, I'm worthy. He likes me. You get excited. And then you let him walk all over you and you let him set the rules for the relationship. That's where Carla was before she met me. Where is Carla today? Carla said, Rika, guess what? I was able to stick up for myself after a man tried to put me on timeout like I was a kid. I was very blunt and very clear, and I've never been that person before Single You Academy. I used to not want to get a man too upset because I still wanted him to be around. I felt so good. I sent him that text message and I read it like 1,000 times. And I was like, I can't believe I did that, because I always hold on. In the past, I know what I felt, but I just didn't want to be in the wrong or for him to walk. Because raise your hand. How many of you don't stick up for yourself because you're afraid the man will leave you, break up with you, won't call you again? You get scared. Well, I don't want to be single, so I'm not going to say anything. Is that you? She said, but this time I decided, okay, well, I'll just take the loss. I'll take the L. I'm not taking it anymore from men. I'm worth so much more. And I told him, I said, I don't have time for your foolishness, period. I value myself and it feels so good. So again, you remember Carla before, this is Carla now. After Single You Academy. And I'm going to turn my computer off. There we go. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so this is the last tip on how to spot a liar sooner rather than later. If I'm confused, this is a rule for me now. If I'm confused, I'm out. What do I mean by that? Well, I got examples. I'm the example queen. Here we go. All right. So this is a real conversation text thread that I was having with a guy. I want to say either at the end of 2020 or the beginning of 2021. I swear, when you get older, I be confused. Okay. So I asked him, so I'm in the green because he didn't have an iPhone. And I asked him, how do you nurture your relationship with God, your faith? Because the number one thing that's important to me is that a man actually has a relationship with God. None of this, oh, I believe in God and I go to church. My abusive ex knew the Bible more than I did. He grew up Jehovah's Witness. So he had that Bible memorized and he would use it against me. He literally told me, let me tell you what my abusive ex told me. He said, you know that scripture, bad company corrupts good character. I feel like you corrupted me. Mind you, this man was cheating on me the whole time I was in that relationship, the whole time. But I'm corrupting him. Okay. Anyway, so now it's important to me to know what your relationship with God is like. How do you nurture that? Because I need something. It don't have to look like I do it, but I need something. And he said, I haven't utilized my faith in relationships. Either she respects me or she doesn't. It's not my job to teach her that. And I asked him, what do you mean by that? And he says, that was the simplest translation. Do you know, about 2 days later, I told this man, you're not the one for me. I'm cool. You're not my husband. I'm not dating no more. I don't want to be somebody's girlfriend anymore. I'm done with that. We're not doing this. I'm not doing this. I'm not bypassing red flags. I'm not bypassing my God feeling, that God voice, which is your gut. How many times have you bypassed your gut? You knew that you shouldn't be with this man, but you bypassed it because you wanted the story. You wanted to be with him. You wanted a boyfriend. I used to love saying that. I have a boyfriend. Oh my God, I have a boyfriend. I used to love saying that. Ugh, now I can throw up in my mouth. I don't ever want to say those words again. I have a boyfriend, unless he's my husband. Because I do like that my dad calls my mom his girlfriend. I think that's cute. Okay, how about this? Can you relate to this story? This is dysfunction. Okay. She writes, Rika, he is very hard to read and I don't know how to act half the time. We are good for a minute, then he needs space, then we real good, but then he says he wants to figure out what type of relationship he wants, then we sleep together, then he's sort of distant, but says he wants to continue whatever we are doing. He's just a very busy man. I just don't want to get hurt or led on. I don't want to push him. Also don't want to waste my time or give myself to someone for nothing. I'm lost and I don't know where to go from here. Can you relate to this situation? This is dysfunction. This is the revolving door of dysfunction because you want the story. So you allow him to tell you things. Oh, I got to figure out where I am in my life. I'm a very busy man. But can we sleep together? And then you do, thinking that's going to draw him in. Because what we think as women is we can change him. Oh, he'll be different for me. Because of course you think you're that special. You're not. You're not that powerful. Who are you, God? You are special and you are a diamond, and God knew you before he formed you in your mother's womb, and God loves you, but men don't love you like that. Not the ones who are out here hurting and not doing their own healing and struggling. And you know what hurt men do? Hurt people do? They hurt people. So this is the BS they will put you in. Well, I'm just really busy, so I got to figure out what kind of relationship we're going to have. But can I sleep with you? And you're like, yes. That's because you're not good at setting boundaries. That's because you don't know who you are. That's because you don't love yourself. I told you we're going to have real talk today. I don't sugarcoat nothing, but it comes from my heart. Because I love you and I'm trying to pull something out of you. I'm trying to pull a higher woman out of you because I know what you want. That loving, healthy relationship that Russell Wilson and Sierra love. That's what you want. But you don't know how to get it because you don't know how to set a boundary. Am I stepping on toes? Do you feel like I'm talking to you? Type yes in the chat. I feel like I need to clear my throat, but I don't want to. This is so gross. Let me turn my microphone off. On Instagram, don't listen. Hold on. And if you feel like I'm talking to you, Crystal, Sandra, I see you. Um, hey, Patty, yes, I'm stepping on a lot. Hey, Carrie. Yay. Okay, so if you feel like I'm talking to you, don't worry. I'm not going to just leave you hanging. I have something for you. We're going to talk about Single You Academy, but I just wanted to walk you through what I promised I would walk you through during this masterclass. Okay. So we're going to get there. All right. So now let's move on to the 3 reasons why you keep falling for those lies, which we pretty much already talked about, but let's go over again. Miss Veggie Queen, guess what? Single You Academy is open and we're going to talk about that. So I hope you stick around. Okay. Or send me a DM if you have to go. Definitely send me a DM and say, girl, I need you. Okay. All right. 3 reasons why. Hold on. 3 reasons why you keep falling for those lies. Okay. I was like, wait, where are we at? All right. Reason number 3. I'm going to go 3, 2, 1 again. Okay. We already talked about this. You get too excited when a man hits on you. You like to be picked. And listen, let me tell you something. When somebody's son who is fine hits on me, of course, I'm like, oh my God, yay. But that's where it stops. Where I used to be like, oh my God, he likes me. I'm now worthy. I am now deemed worthy because he said that I was pretty. Oh my God. Of course, we like compliments. That's fine. But you have to draw the line of thinking, oh, he likes me. Now I'm worthy. So let's date. Okay. All right. That's reason number 3 why you keep falling for these lies and you keep getting in these dysfunctional relationships. Okay. All right. So reason number 2, you fall in love with potential. How many times have you said, girl, he gonna be something? Yeah, we gonna make this relationship work. I feel like he could be something. I feel like he will change. I feel like if I keep cooking for him, sexing him right, I'm pretty, I make him feel love, he gonna change and he gonna love me. Type potential in the comments if you feel like you've fallen for potential. The potential of this man, the potential of what you two could be together. Well, if he would just do X, Y, and Z, and then I'll do this for him, so he will do X, Y, and Z, and then we'll be this perfect couple. We'll be like Russell and Sierra. Let me tell you something. I say this on my podcast a lot. Single You the podcast, shameless plug, available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and more. Single You the podcast. Anyway, leave the changing up to God, because you're hoping he will change just enough to love you the right way. And you're busy trying to fix him, trying to cook him up like you got this recipe and you can make this perfect man. This is not Build a Bear. This is not Build a Man. So you think you can do all of these things to make him be this perfect man for you. Nope. Leave the changing up to God, because the reality is people don't change. Not for you, sis. You are not that special. Only Jesus thinks you're that special. That's it. That's it. And you should. You should actually think you're special enough to leave and be like, he not for me. It's not mean to leave a guy. It's not mean to set a boundary, because how many of you feel mean when you set a boundary? Like, oh my God, I'm being a mean girl. I'm being a bitch. So I can't say no. Raise your hand if that's you. Shout out to you, Sandra. I downloaded Spotify just for your podcast. Shout out to you. It is definitely on Spotify. Okay, reason number 1 why you keep falling for the liars: you don't know who you are or know how to get what you want. So let me ask you a 2-part question. Number 1, do you feel like you know who you are? Yes, no, or sorta? Hold on. I gotta clear my throat again. Okay, let me know. Do you know who you are? Yes, no, or sorta? Okay. I see you say sorta, Sandra. Okay. And then the second part is, you know what you want, right? Do you know how to get it? Yes or no? You know what you want. You want that Russell and Sierra love. I just want a man to love me. I want a man to rub my feet. I want a man to send me flowers. I just want a man to listen to me. I want him to open up. I want him. Do you know how to get it though? Yes or no? Do you know how to set boundaries enough to actually get the man that you want. So you see where the problem lies, right? If you sort of just know yourself and then you don't know how to get what you want, what's that a recipe for? Dysfunction, dysfunction, dysfunction. And this is no judgment. I have been there. This is why I do what I do. Because when I look at you and the way you answer the questions that I ask you, I see me. I see me. And so what I feel like I'm doing is I'm going back to 2017 and I'm saving and actually 2015 when I met my abusive ex, and I'm snatching her out of that situation. That's what I feel like I'm doing. And I'm here to help any woman who will allow me to help her. Okay. All right. Which one of these statements is true for you? A, I tweeted these and I should have really just put the tweets up because I kind of like the Twitter screenshots, but whatever. Anyway, which one of these statements is true for you? A, B, or both? So here's A. Man, I really used to think love was doing everything he asked so I could prove my love to him. Do you feel like you have to prove your love to a man? I have to do all these things for him. So then he'll know that I love him. Then he'll believe me when I say I love him. Type A in the comments if that's you. And then here's B. I think I tweeted this like last month because I had just got done paying all my bills and I have a little bit more bills now since I'm building a business, and I literally paid off all my bills. And I was like, dude, I can't believe I used to date my abusive ex who never paid he didn't even have bills to pay. And I was not 15 with this abusive ex. If I'm 38, how old was I in 2015? And I dated him because I thought that I could help him. Well, it's my duty as a Christian woman to help this man and lift him up. That's what God wants me to do. Nope. Let me ask you this. Where in the Bible does it say you will suffer for love? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Am I stepping on toes again? So I said, I just paid all my bills. I can't believe I used to date a man who never paid theirs or didn't have any. My $10,000 boyfriend never paid his bills. That baby wasn't like $200,000 worth of debt. Woo, Jesus. When God say you will know my people by their fruit, that's what he means, because his fruit was showing me that he is not accountable to himself. And a man who is not accountable to himself, how can I expect him to lead me or love me the way that God wants him to love me? But of course, I didn't know that back then. And so if you're feeling like I'm talking about you, this is not judgment. I hope you're hearing it from my heart. I'm here to adjust your crown. All right, let's move on. Okay. All right, so this is another client of mine. She graduated from Single U Academy, and she said before Single U Academy, when guys would hit on me, I would just go for it. I would say, "Oh yeah, we can go meet up, whatever. Oh yeah, let's go to Starbucks." And I would go in his Jeep, just because the guy's like, "Oh, I want to visit with you" or something, without even knowing who that person was. That has never worked out for me, and has put me in very bad situations. And now, thanks to Single U Academy, I put up boundaries, and just having those boundaries has been working well for me. Rika has me. That's me. I'm Rika. Rika has helped me a lot. If it wasn't for her, I would have been where I was in the past, not knowing my worth. Because again, she used to be so excited. A dude would DM her or hit her up on TikTok or however y'all date these days. And she would be like, all right, let's go. Instead of saying, no, I'll meet you at Starbucks, or not even feeling comfortable yet because they haven't even had a real conversation. She was letting guys just text her and like text and ghost, disappear for 2 days, and then come back and be like, hey, want to go to Starbucks? Like, no. Who are you? Who are you? All right. Okay. So, how have you been dating? A, B, or C? A, stab in the dark. B, knowledge and intention. C, both. How have you been dating? A, B, or C? Yeah. Sandra, I hear you, stab in the dark. And don't worry, I got you, girl. We're going to talk about this. Stick with me. Stick with me. Yeah. Because even if you say B, knowledge and intention, but do you know how to get what you want, though? So if you don't, I would argue, you think that's what you're doing. But here's what happened. You meet a guy, he's attracted to you, your vagina gets all excited, and then you're like, oh my God, he's the one. Your vagina doesn't actually know if he's the one or not. She will betray you. She is a liar. That's what she's supposed to do. That is biology. So, Crystal, you say B, knowledge and intention, but do you know how to get what you want? So, when we go back to the question, how many times have you written off guys, but then got into a dysfunctional relationship 2 weeks later or 2 months later? I think we know. We think knowledge and intention because you know what you want, but do you know how to get it? And this is really less. I'm not a relationship coach. I'm not a dating coach. I'm a boundaries coach. I'm a self-love coach. Because if you love yourself, we're going to get into that. Hold on. Okay. So, what if you took not being in a dysfunctional relationship seriously? What would happen? Think about it. What if you took you seriously? What if you took this more seriously? Hmm? Because, okay, so if you want to be a doctor, you have to take that seriously and you have to go to med school, right? If you want to be a lawyer, you have to take that seriously and you have to go to law school, or you have to find a mentor in California. I think in Washington State, we could do that too. You could like follow somebody for 5 years and be a lawyer like Kim Kardashian, but you still have to take it seriously. Yes, Elise, inbox me. DM me ASAP, Elise, okay? Because the doors close on April 25th. Because I'm going to tell you about Single You Academy coming up here. So, again, even if you want to go get a driver's license, you have to take that seriously and you have to go take a test. But if you want to be in love, if you want to have a baby, you ain't got to go nowhere. So, if you want to learn about love, if you want to learn about yourself, if you want to stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships, where do you go? There's no test for that. And that's sad because relationships make up our life, period. You have to be in relationship with people. You don't have to be in a romantic relationship, but relationships make up our life. They are so consequential to our life. And romantic relationships either lift us up or bring us down. There's no in between. Especially if you married and got a husband. Okay, listen. Especially if the father of your children. My God, don't you wish it was harder? Don't you wish it was harder? Okay, I want to go be in love, so I need to go to school to do that. I wish that was it. So that's why I created Single You Academy with my 4 pillars that will keep you out of a dysfunctional relationship. I call them pillars. I'm kind of playing with that word because it's really a mindset. Because the Bible says you have to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So if you're just put in this world, your parents have you, then nobody sits you down and says, this is narcissism, this is toxic, this is projection. Because honestly, I didn't even know narcissism was a word until 2017. Nobody gives you a book of life when you're born. Happy birthday, here's how to do life. Nobody says that to you. Nobody says, okay, baby girl. They'll just tell you like surface things. Like what my parents told me and what I saw growing up, I just knew like, okay, don't date dudes who do drugs. Cool. But that was it. There's so much more to that. There's so much more to that. But we don't know the nuances of dysfunction and toxic. And like I said, TD Jake said, a man who doesn't like himself, of course he's going to abuse his girl. TD Jake said, I never met a man that liked himself that abused his wife. Because hurt people hurt people, okay? So here is the mindset that I teach inside of Single You Academy, okay? Step 1, you got to know who you are. Who are you? So I asked a lot of you, do you know who you are? And a lot of you said sorta or no. This is where it starts. Every healthy relationship starts with the relationship you have with yourself. And I hate to say, if you can hear my dog, Thor is probably barking at a squirrel. Yes, I have a dog named Thor. Shout out to the Avengers, okay? So every relationship you have, every healthy relationship you have, it matters. And if you're letting a guy walk all over you, treat you any kind of way, treat you like trash, set the rules for the relationship, I would argue you don't know who you are, nor do you love yourself. Okay, so that's number one. Okay, so I got this message from a woman who slid into my DMs, and I loved this message she sent to me because it was so true. First of all, she wanted to find other Christian women to connect with. I guess that's me. Yay, I am a Christian. Yay. But I'm not a religious Christian. And I'm not the type of Christian who thinks forgiveness means stay. Mm-mm. I don't believe in doormat Christianity. Okay. She said, when I looked through your website, I saw that if I wanted to go from just cognitively knowing I deserve better to actually changing my behavior so I would be treated better, I had to reach out to you because I want to bridge the gap between reading affirmations and living them. Because again, even Drake says, know yourself, know your worth. What does that mean though? What does that mean? How do you know yourself, know your worth? Like, how do you do that? Is it a school? Do I go to University of Washington? How do I do that? And a lot of you are saying, yeah, I love myself, but you really don't because you don't know how to change your behavior. You need to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So when I say I'm an NLP life coach, I'm gonna just get a little nerdy for like 2 seconds. NLP is neuro linguistic programming. So it's about the neurons in our brain. And what I do for you is it's a train track. And right now you think but you're having this negative cycle, and I help you change your neurons so then you can start having this positive cycle. But it starts with you and you taking the leap of faith to actually work on yourself. Because again, know yourself, know your worth. Okay, great. I know that. But how do you start? Step two, know what you want. So my mindset, the 4 pillars that I teach inside of Single You Academy, know who you are so you can know what you want. Okay. Truly know what you want instead of I want him to make 6 figures. He's going to be 6 feet. He's going to be fine. He's going to be a guy who's in tune with his feelings. He's going to love his mom. No, we got to go deeper. So the number one thing on my list is I want a man who's slow to anger. That's what the Bible says. So we go deeper. We go deeper. Okay. All right, so here is another graduate of Single You Academy. She said, Rika, he did it again, but this time when he decided to stop speaking to me, I didn't reach out. It's been about a month now that I haven't spoken to him. Not only have I been at peace, but I realized how stressful talking to him was because I didn't want to say or do the wrong thing to make him mad at me. With your videos and reading the book, I realized that he is not the guy for me. How many times, again, have you been, well, I don't want to say anything to him, or I don't want to set a boundary because he'll leave me or he'll get upset. Mm-mm. I want women when we're out here dating single women to be as what's the word I'm looking for? As hard in her boundaries as a mother when she tells her child to do something and the child's like, why? And the mom says, because I said so. So if you don't want him to call you after 9 o'clock, if you don't want to do this, if you don't want to have sex with him, whatever the case may be, you're allowed to set a boundary because you said so. Okay. And so superficially, when a person hears Single You Academy, oh, I don't know what happened with the picture. Oh no. Okay. Single You Academy, people were looking at me, and this is a client of mine. She said, people were looking at me like, you paid what for what? I could have taught you. And she said no to them. No, you couldn't because you weren't going to push me to the level of Single You Academy, by which literally doors started unlocking and helping me to have the strength to walk through. Single You Academy is definitely helpful, and it was worth every penny. It truly is. Yeah, because uh, your friends are out here giving you dating advice and they never even studied relationships. How do they know? Most people can only speak through the lens of which they have experienced. So you know what I heard uh, my whole life? Once I started saying, yeah, I don't want to date a man with kids. Oh, you ain't gonna find a man without kids. And that used to bother me. And so I would date men with kids or whatever, and it never worked out. My abusive ex had a kid, blah, blah, blah. But the reason why people say that is because that's what they see. Everybody around them is having babies at 15 and 18 and 22 and 25, and there's no knock on that. But you cannot tell me that you have met every man in this world and really say, okay, it is factual that you're never going to find a man without kids. I don't listen to my friends about dating. And really, I've changed my circle of friends anyway. But you're out here listening to your friends who don't know anything about relationships. What relationships have they studied? All right, step 3. So know who you are so you can know what you want, and then have the audacity to believe that you can get it. The audacity to believe that you can get a man without kids. The audacity to believe that you can get a Russell Wilson. The audacity to believe that you could be treated with respect. And I use Russell Wilson as the guy that I believe treats Sierra with respect, not actually Russell Wilson or a football player, because I definitely don't want you dating football players. But know what you want, know who you are so you can know what you want, have the audacity to believe it, and the patience to wait for it. And we're going to get into that. But here's another single you testimony. So I've gone on a couple dates and have had 6 guys texting me, and my friend says, Sarah, you have to choose. You have your choice. Choose one. And see, this is what your friends will tell you. Girl, just choose a man, whatever. And she said, I did. I chose myself. Because at the end of the day, these guys are not the guys for me. They are looking for a piece of ass, and my ass is small, and I can't share with them. This is for my husband, and until that happens, I'll continue choosing myself. She then hugged me and prayed that God would lead me into the path to meet my husband. Thank you so much, Rika. I probably would have gone on into at least one of them and be back to square one. I probably would have given in, there we go, to at least one of them and back to square one. All right, step 4, and the patience to wait for it. Okay, is this still resonating? Are you still with me? Type yes in the chat. I just want to, because we're about to end here. I just want to make sure you still there. Type yes in the chat. I know there's like a delay. So, all right. So my cousin Shanice, I'm going to her wedding on June 19th. I'm excited. She was that. She knew who she was after a long discovery, knew who she was, knew what she wanted, had the audacity to believe that she can get it, and the patience to wait for it. And she's marrying her husband. And she says, Ja'Cory, who will be her husband, made me realize how much I settled in the past. What I learned is the right person will make you realize that. We don't argue. We don't fuss. He lets me live my life, and he lives his life. And when I'm out with my girlfriends, I don't feel like, oh my God, I have to text him and check in. Women take for granted their freedom and he so freely grants that he cares about me. Because how many times have you had a guy trying to clock your every move? My abusive ex, well, anytime my phone rings, somebody texts me, who's that? I had to cut off male friends for him because I didn't know who I was. I didn't realize I was somebody who believed that men and women can actually be friends and only friends. My best friend is a guy. I've known him since I was 12. I was actually in his wedding on the groom's side in my little groom's woman's tux thingy. It was cute. And now me and his wife, are friends. But because I allowed my abusive ex to set the rules of the relationship, I thought, well, I have to do this because I love him, right? And so I have to prove my love to him. And he would say things like that. Well, if you love me, you would do X, Y, and Z. I wish a dude would say that to me now. Do you know how quick I'd probably be in jail because he would have to call the cops on me because I would slap him in the like, who you talking to? Who you talking to? All right. So, couple of questions and then we'll wrap it up. What is it costing you to hold on to all that pain from previous relationships? Because I don't want you to be bitter. That's not my thing. I don't want you to be like, F guys, all guys are dumb. No. I have a dad who is a wonderful dad and uncles and no, I know a lot of wonderful men. But it's about who you allow into your life. So anyway, holding on to all that pain, what is it costing you to hold on to all that pain from previous relationships? What is it costing you? Type your answer in the comments. What is it costing you to continue to be in the revolving door of dysfunctional relationships? This is what I call dysfunctional because it's like the revolving door. It's like in and out. You dating Tom, Dick, and Harry, same type of relationships, or it's a guy that you keep taking back. Yeah, Sandra, peace of mind. What is it costing you to be in that revolving door of dysfunctional relationships? Think about that. Think about that. What is it costing you to never learn what a healthy relationship is? What is it costing you to never learn how to set a hard boundary and say no without feeling bad? Because do you know the difference between healthy hard and abusive? And I knew you were going to say stuff like that. Joy, I'm sure you're thinking of this. Peace, self-confidence, money. How many of you have spent money on a guy and you're like, what is I doing? Trust me, even though I got my little $10,000 back, I still be like, I mean, honestly, I'm over it. But when I think about it, I just be like, dang, the girl I was. Thank God for growth. Thank God for growth. All right. Okay, so Single You Academy, this is another testimony. In the little time I've been here, I feel so supported in my single journey, embracing my singleness with confidence, embracing my pain and growing through it, embracing my budget and goals. Rika really allowed me to confront the traditional thoughts of our society around relationships and embrace me, the real me. That's not attached to a man or a ring. Woo! I don't want you to be attached to a man or the ring. I want you to be attached to you, boo-boo. Sorry, I had to crack my knuckles. Is that gross? Okay. All right. So, okay. So maybe you're like, all right, Rika, I want to work on me. This is my dog, Thor. I don't know if y'all can see him, but he is really in my face right now. He's probably hungry. Okay. So maybe you're like right now, okay, Rika, tell me about Single You Academy. I want to work on me so I'll never be in a dysfunctional relationship again. I want to truly be happy. Are you ready to hear about Single You Academy? Type yes in the comments while I'll take a drink. And on Instagram, I don't know if it lets me go over an hour, but we're about to hit an hour. So if you want to get more information, you're going to have to send me a DM because once it ends, I won't be able to see your comments anymore. So on Instagram, send me a DM if it ends. Okay. But right now, I guess we're good. But if it ends, do not hesitate. Send me a DM. I'm not going to be like, why is this girl sending me a DM? This is weird. This is what I do, baby. Like, send me a DM. It's cool. All right, I see y'all's yeses. All right, so here we go. Okay, what life would you choose? A, B, or C? A, I want to continue to be in dysfunctional relationships. A, I want to continue to be in dysfunctional relationships. B, I want to never date again out of fear. C, I want to live my life truly happy and single and date from a seat of truly knowing myself and my worth. A, B, or C? A, B, or C? Just gonna let it percolate because I know the algorithm. Yeah. Yep. All right, Sandra, I see you said C. Okay. All right. So if you chose C, then that lets me know that you're ready to work on yourself and you want a strong mindset. Would you say that you're ready to work on yourself, Sandra and Crystal, Elise, Miss Veggie Queen, and Maya? Uh-oh. What is going on with my slide? That is weird. Okay, so it was supposed to say introducing Single You Academy, which is my online course to help you stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships by learning how to set those hard boundaries, okay? And discovering your worth. So in my 12-week program, you will learn how to stop tying your identity and worth to men. You will learn the difference between healthy versus unhealthy relationships, and you will transform from a woman trying to prove her worth to be loved by a man into a woman who finally knows her worth, who you are, what you want, and knows how to say no. I'm going to call you to your higher self. Okay. And we're going to face the woman who has been in those dysfunctional relationships because you have to face her and you have to forgive her because you did it. You allowed it. Why? We're going to dip deep. This is not some frou-frou 5-step. Okay. So you just need to get more sleep and drink some water and know yourself, know your worth. Nope. This is not fluff. I'm going to read you another testimonial and then I will show you the website, because what you're going to have to do is fill out an application to let me know that you are interested. And then I want to see if you and I would be a good coach client relationship. Like, we got to make sure, right? Because I don't want anybody to be tire kickers and then 2 weeks later, I don't hear from you. Like, no. So she says, it's been extremely helpful just having the information and now understanding, like you said earlier, we don't know how to date. We don't know about relationships. A lot of times our parents don't tell us these things. It's not talked about. We try to emulate what we see. So we out here trying to emulate Quavo and Sweetie and Offset and Cardi B. And I don't know these people, but I don't want anything they got going on in their relationships. Oh God. She goes on to say, but sometimes it's bad behavior in the relationships that we are looking at. We're like, okay, well, we'll just deal with certain things. Now I have a 20-year-old daughter and I'm just constantly quoting things from Single You to her. So the generational curse that was put in me as far as what I saw my parents do, and I thought it was okay. She's going to be in a better place because we're already starting to talk about intentional dating. How much would you pay? How much is it worth to you to stop a generational curse? That was deep. When she said that to me, I started crying. I said, I did that for you? What? I couldn't, like, how much is that worth to you? $0, or is it priceless? Miss Veggie, we can talk about that. We'll talk about that. Just make sure you send me a DM if this ends, okay? All right. So in my 12-week academy program, you will get 3 modules, 4 lessons each. So that's 12 lessons. How to discover your worth is module 1. Module 2, how to stop tying your identity to men. Module 3, how to stop being a man pleaser. Okay. Valued at $4,300. You're also going to get some bonus lessons, and I don't even think I put all the bonuses in here. But this one is how to heal from hurt and trust men again, and how to trust yourself again. And I want you to know that I am no different than you. I used to confuse taking care of a man you claim to love as being a good person. I used to think that made me a good person. And if I didn't, I'd be a bad person. Okay. I got out of the business of fixing men. I got into the business of learning, healing, fixing me. And now I want to guide you on your own journey. Here's another bonus you're going to get: what it's like to wait for sex until marriage. And let me say this: I'm celibate. I've been celibate for like 2.5 years, but I'm not here to make you me. As a coach, I'm here to hold you accountable to the things that you say that you want. So if you are saying, I want to learn how to set boundaries, I want to stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships, and I want to get to know myself, I want to discover my worth, then I'm here. And then if you decide to take that journey of celibacy, that's on you. We're not getting into you a better Christian if you do this or not. I don't do that. That's your choice. For me, it's working out for me. Okay. Also, I throw in a bonus for how to handle debt, because part of being that independent, strong woman who can set boundaries and stuff is getting your money together. Because if you don't have your money together, you're not solid in that. You don't know if you need to be with this man or want to be with this man. There's a difference. It's 2021 now. Prince Charming, we're not doing that no more. Actually, he never really existed, but women back then, our grandmas, had to be married to even have a credit card or a house. We're not in that generation no more. So I want you to want, that's your desire. You can want a man, that's beautiful, that's great. But to feel like you need him and he needs to come save you, no. All right. So just so you know, I do offer a money back guarantee, but I'm only looking for serious action takers. Okay. So you need to show that you gave Single You Academy a try before requesting a refund. It's 14 days. And I do this because I'm not looking for tire kickers. I want women who are true go-getters that want to dive in and get results quickly. So there is no risk to you. I'm taking all the risk. But I do that because I know in the first 2 weeks, you're going to be like, what in the hell? I done learned so many things. So Single You Academy, group coaching, 3 monthly payments of $335, or you can pay in full and save $997. Because 335 times 3 is a little bit more than 997. So if you pay in full for the 12 weeks, it's you save like $10, $7 or something like that. Okay. So you're gonna have to go to this website, singleyouacademy.com/group-1. And I know you can't see it on Instagram, but here, let me flip the script. And you can also send me a DM and I'll send you this link because you need to fill out the application, okay? And so I want you to think back when I asked you, what is it costing you to stay in these dysfunctional relationships? What is it costing you to not take staying out of dysfunctional relationships seriously? What is it costing you to not know yourself? And a lot of you said joy, peace, money, because you're spending money on this men. And so, what I had to learn in my $10,000 boyfriend relationship is why was I so quick to spend $10,000 on him? But I had never at that point invested in myself, really. I mean, I went to Howard University, I graduated, but my parents paid for it. So, there's that for the most part. So, what is it going to take for you to invest in yourself? Because what you're doing now is not working. I asked you, you said no, it's not working. So here's a Single You Academy member. Hi, Rika. I am doing the homework and watching and rewatching the recordings. I have already felt like I have learned so much. The biggest takeaway so far for me, and this sounds so silly, but finding out it's okay to be alone and you can actually enjoy being alone. My mindset has always been if you're alone, you're lonely. And I can't believe I thought that for 33 years. This is a mindset I will definitely pass on to my daughter. What? So she's basically telling me I'm helping her break a generational curse as well. What? All right. Few more questions. Can you relate to one of the followings? I'll know I don't like something. However, I feel awkward about standing up to a guy. I don't know if it's me or the men I date. Am I too picky? I really just want to enjoy my singleness, but I don't know how to. I've always been in a relationship and I really need help enjoying myself. Or the last one. I have had a hard time creating boundaries. It's like I get clueless or something. And I know I've asked you this before, but how many of you get so uncomfortable when you set a boundary with a guy because you're afraid he's going to leave or get mad? He's going to break up with you. You're going to be single. All right, one last testimonial. Rika, you're helping everybody, and I can't wait to see the transformation in me. But honestly, I've been going to therapy, and therapy is not what is helping me. You've put stuff in front of me to help me go. You can do this. You're going to do this. Take responsibility for it. Your guidance and homework alone sparked something, and I know now I'm on the correct right path. And here's the thing, I'm not knocking therapists, and she wasn't either. Um, but therapists are there to help you figure out a lot of your whys. And what I do is I give you steps for your future to help you set those boundaries in real time. So again, Single You Academy, group coaching, 3 payments of $335, or you can pay in full and save $997. Okay. Does anybody have any questions for me? Sandra, yes, all of the above. Yeah, you could relate. Yeah. And that's why I'm here to help you. Okay. That's why I'm here to help you because it's obvious you're struggling and I'm offering help and a mindset. Because again, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. I want to help you stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships. So, my question to you is if you don't sign up for Single You Academy, how will you pull out of that struggle? And I'm not saying you need me. I'm the only way you're going to learn this. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, obviously, I've shown you that you are struggling. So, how will you get out of that struggle if you don't ask for help? You got to ask somebody. Of course, I hope it'll be me. So, this video is going to come down on the 25th, and Doors to Single You Academy close on the 25th. So it's a time limit. What is today? We have 5 days. So why don't you just sign up today and don't hesitate. And when I say listen to your friend Sarah, this is a client of mine. And just so you know, I keep all my clients anonymous. Like, that's why I don't put names on. That's why when you saw the testimonials, you didn't see names. But Sarah was gracious enough to let me ask her about the program and why she joined. Why did you join? Here, Instagram, I'll let you hear it.
Like majority of women, they've had hard relationships. Darn close. Yeah. And they were just there. They support you. They know what you're going through. They know your emotions. They know everything. So, love it. Love it. As a single mom, I struggled, I guess. Okay. Yep. I ended up going to court, so with my son's father for custody and visitation and all that fun stuff. I was just over the whole visitation thing because he wasn't doing his part. And Rika actually had another woman come on that was going through the same thing. Her and her husband divorced. She had 2 kids, and she helped me through the whole visitation thing. So it's not just about your relationship. It's beyond that. She also helped us with building a I'm going blank now. Building a to save money with a budget. There we go. Yeah, we budgeted. I was at the beginning of the year, I was $8,000 in debt from, paying for a lawyer and life and everything. And here I am as a single mom, debt free, and I brought a brand new 2020 car. Look at Did you hear that, Linnea? Like
Okay. Sorry about. There we go. Sorry about the. I love it. Okay, so here is the. Let me put this back up. Boom, 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 boom. Sandra, so I see you say you're concerned about the time. So let me ease some of that for you. Okay. So the videos are on demand. So you watch them in your own time, but we meet 6 times in the 12 weeks to go over what you're learning, the homework that I assigned, the book assignments that I assign. Okay. So you can watch the actual lessons on your own time, and then we meet as a group together. So what I would ask you is, how important is it to you to actually jump this hurdle? To stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships, to learn how to set hard, clear boundaries, and to discover who you are. I guess I don't need these anymore because I took them out for the video, so Instagram could hear them. So that's what I would ask you. How important is it to you to jump this hurdle? Because again, what is it costing you? So what is the cost? What is the time that you need to put in to actually change your behavior so that you could, exactly, Sandra, I knew you were going to say very, because I know you. I know you, but I don't know you. But I know you because you were me. And that's why everything that I said to you today resonated with you. Because I know you because you were me. And I am trying to save you from any more of this dysfunction that you have been through. Because the reality is, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, right? And I don't want you to be insane, okay? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to send me a DM right now, Sandra, Miss Veggie Queen, Crystal. In fact, do this. Type "I'm in the comments if you're in. Will you type "I'm in the comments if you're in? Even if you're watching this on the replay, as long as it's before April 25th, I will send you a message. So type "I'm in the comments. Okay, and actually, I'm going to take this website and put it in the Facebook chat or Facebook comments. Yay, it posted. Yay, there we go. Okay, perfect. So say I'm in. Perfect, Sandra. I'm in. Perfect. I love it. So I will also send you a message, but what I want you to do is I want you to go to the website and I want you to click here. You want better when it comes to the quality of your single life and the quality of the men that you date. I want you to click here and it'll send you to a form page, an application page. Oh, great, Sandra. Maybe I knew that, that we've been emailing back and forth already. So I love it. So where you at, girl? I need you to sign up. Because look at you. You've been hovering around me. Oh, hold on. You can't even see my face right now. Hold on. Okay. There we go. Look at you, Sandra. You've been doing this. Hovering around me. Should I sign up? Should I sign up? Should I sign up? Should I sign up? I got you. I got you. And like I said, I'm taking the risk because I'm going to give you 14 days to try it out. And if you're like, I have learned nothing, oh my God, this sucks, then you get your money back. Because I am so confident in my program and the women that I've helped before you that I can get the same result from you if you do the work. Now, with that 14-day guarantee, of course, you have to do the work. You have to show up. You have to do all the assignments. So you don't get to just like ghost me for 14 days and then be like, can I get my money back? No, it don't work like that. Like that, that wouldn't be a smart business move. But a smart business move is knowing the results that I can get and I can get it for you. This is a do with process, not a do to. I'm not a fairy godmother. I can't come in and dress you up and you go out on the town. You just got to be back by midnight. We're not doing that. This is a do with process. So if it is important to you to jump the hurdle, do me a favor and fill out that application if you haven't already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to DM you right after this. I'm going to go to the bathroom and get a drink and stuff. So like in 20 minutes, I'll probably DM you to check on you to see if you did it. So I just want to end it with this. Okay. If you're on Instagram, send me a DM right now, because once the video is over, I won't be able to go back and click on your name and say, hey, I saw you say you were in, or I know you were curious. I won't be able to do that. So I'm just going to need you to send me a DM right now, because remember, this closes, this Single You Academy is done April 25th. So 5 days from now. And when this door closes, because I've been opening and closing for the past 2 years now, when this door closes, the prices will go up the next time I open it, and significantly. So if you're already like, $9.97 is a little, the next time I open it, you're going to be like, damn it, I should have signed up. Damn it. And that's not to like scare you or anything. That's not a sales tactic. It's just, I'm telling you the truth because I want you to know. So the next time when you do see it, you're not like, but I thought it was. No, I'm just letting you know now. Okay. So again, doors close April 25th. So if we're not having a conversation by then I guess you won't be in this cycle of Single You Academy. Okay? All right. Oh, wait. Let me do this. Okay. And let me remove this. Okay. So, are there any does anybody have any questions for me? Because if not, I will end the video here. And thank you so much for watching. I know that you got something out of it. I hope you feel empowered. And I hope to see you in Single You Academy. And I'm just going to stick around for like 30 more seconds to see if there's any questions. And I'm going to put this up on. Oops. Oh, maybe not. Okay, so with that, I will see you in the DMs. And thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your Tuesday.